Okay, how about I give you a household hack that you can use to kill ants? Now, I'm going to give you this recipe. I would not suggest using this inside your home if you have pets or small children. If you have an ant problem, I like the little round baits that are enclosed because your kids can't really get hurt unless they obviously eat them. So, but this is for your vegetable or flower gardens, okay? So what you need is you need borax, honey, sugar, and some just plain water, okay? And then you're going to need some water bottles or sport drink bottles, whatever. You just need a plastic bottle with a lid. And the smaller containers, I have 3 teaspoons of borax. I have about 2 teaspoons of sugar and about a teaspoon or so of honey. I did not measure the honey, I just poured it in. And then I poured about 3 to 4 teaspoons of water in, and if it seemed like it was just too thick and it didn't slosh a little bit, then I added a little bit more water. Now, what we need to do, if you have an aphid problem, you have an ant problem, because the ants carry the aphids from one point to the other, and they will just take over your vegetable gardens. And then the aphids obviously will just destroy your vegetable gardens, or flowers even, because I have a aphid problem on my dahlias right now. And so one of these are going to go in that pot outside because of just one of the pots with the dahlias in them. I got 5 or 6 pots with dahlias in them. So the aphids give off this like sticky sweet substance, and I think they call it honeydew, and the ants will eat that. So the ants love to work with aphids because they have a free sugary sweet source of food, so they follow them around. So they ferry them from point A to point B, and depending on the predator, they will also help protect the aphids because it's a food source to them. So if you have an aphid problem, you need to control your ants, and then you can help control the aphids. And I say that because you can go every day, pick off aphids off your plants, and if the ants are bringing more aphids from point A to point B and taking over more of your vegetable garden, you could keep pulling those aphids off, but the ants are just going to keep bringing you more. So what we need to do is help kill the ants in our vegetable gardens, and then you can control the aphids easier by picking them off the plants. If you have a huge aphid problem, you may have to resort to spraying, and I try not to spray my vegetable garden with harsh chemicals. So try this. Let me know if it works for you. It works for me. I found this from another YouTuber, and his recipe was really close to mine. He gets the same kind of crystallization. So if it seems like you're a little off, it's going to be fine, guys, okay? And he did not use a funnel. I buy like a 6-pack of funnels. I will keep this, wash it, and I will keep it with the borax. So if I need to use use borax again, I will have this, and I will have borax written on the funnel. If not, don't use this funnel back in your kitchen because it's plastic. Because if the borax leaches into the plastic and then you use it in your food, you could actually harm your family, because borax can be very caustic and it's a chemical. Even though it's for laundry, it's very caustic. It can harm people and pets. Now, if you have small children, this is not the thing that I would do together to bond. I have teenage granddaughters. I would allow them to help me, but what you don't want them to do is accidentally have the borax on their fingers and put it in their eyes, or sugar to be on the counter and the borax be in the counter with the sugar, and the kids to lick and then put their fingers in their mouths. So I would just say, if you have very small children, don't do this with them. You will need something sharp. It's going to be up to you to be very careful putting the hole into the container. I shouldn't have to say that, but I know other people have said they got hurt with other YouTubers, and they weren't told to be careful. So I'm telling you to be careful. It's on you to be safe. I will cut a very small hole in this bottle tomorrow when I take it outside. These are some shears that I use for my gardening. So I'm just going to take about that much and stick this into the edge of the bottle, make a hole. Just one. Don't put a bunch. I know if you put multiple holes, you'll make multiple ways in. But what you don't want is rain to get into this bottle and dilute your source, or to fill up with water and to leach into your vegetable garden. That's not what we're doing. We only want a very tiny, and I wouldn't even put this big a hole. I would, when I go to poke the hole, and I only put that there for you guys to show you where I was going to put the hole. I would put, this hole is going to be half that size, okay? Because an ant is very small. They can get in, get out. Now, you will see that some ants will drown themselves in this. It's okay, it's fine. But most of them are going to crawl in, take a small piece of the borax and sugar and honey, and then they're going to take it back to their home. Eventually, in a couple weeks, you're going to kill the whole colony because they're carrying that borax back, and then eventually you're going to get the queen and all the ants, okay? And then, hopefully, you can just pick the aphids off, control the aphids on your own. If you have a huge aphid problem, yes, you may have to use something else to spray your vegetables with. But I'm just trying to help you kill the ants and maybe get ahead, one step ahead, to be able to take care of the aphids without having to use harsh chemicals. Borax is a chemical, guys. That's why in some videos now where you see slime, people are doing borax-free slime because you can get a chemical burn with the borax. So in this recipe, this is 3 teaspoons of borax, 2 teaspoons of sugar, about a teaspoon of honey, and 2 to 3 teaspoons of water. You can add more water if you feel like it's too thick. And this is going to be out in the heat. At least here in Indiana, it's really hot. So I'm not worried about my honey setting back up. If you're worried about that, add a little bit more water. And because you're going to set this just like this in your garden, okay? You're going to tip them all. You're going to put the lid on nice and tight. You're going to put a little hole here, just one. The ants are going to crawl in, grab a piece. They're going to crawl back out. Some of them may die. It's fine too. Bonus. If not, they're going to take some of this crystallization back to their home, and we're going to eventually kill a colony. These are the tiny ants, the picnic ants. These are the tiny ants that don't bite or feel like they're stinging you. These are just the tiny, tiny, tiny ants that you may get in your kitchen because the kids dropped Kool-Aid or candy bar and they're filing their way in and out of your kitchen. These are not the big black or red ants that feel like they're stinging and biting. Those are a different ant. I'm going to do another video tomorrow on those ants. The ants today that we're talking about with this remedy is just the teeny, teeny ants. Now, if you have those ants in your home, I would not do this if in your home, if you have small pets and or children, because this could harm pets and kids and adults. So this is not something you're going to want to do. Now, if you could safely put this behind the stove and you've got ants, yeah, go ahead. But I prefer the little ant, the actually discs, and I have a pack of those. I'll show them to you tomorrow. Actually, I can show them to you real quick. Now, you wouldn't want to use these in your garden, and only because they get expensive, right, in buying something like this for the garden. But these are the ones I prefer in the house. And I put these over by my kennel because my husky, if she leaves any food, every now and then will get ants because of the food. That she throws a temper tantrum and throws her food everywhere in the middle of the night. And I don't know why she does, because she starts playing with it and throwing it, and but she does eat at night. So I hate to take it away from her, but anyway, you wouldn't want to do this. It'd get really expensive buying these for your vegetable garden. So if you have an aphid problem, you have an ant problem, this is what you could do. You could do this if you have it on your deck and you have an ant problem. You could do this also if you could safely put this where children and or pets can't get to it, then feel free. But if you're going to have a large amount of small, teeny ants, and you're going to worry about a pet eating those ants, that may not be what you want to do, right? Because I don't know what your pet does, but my dog licks animals and eats crickets and all kinds of crap when we go outside. Anything that hops and stuff, she thinks they're playing, and so she chases it. So try this, see if it works, and I'm going to jump off here. I'll do another video on the big ants that feel like they're biting and how to treat those. I will talk to you guys soon. Hit like, hit subscribe, and let's go to bed. I'm tired. Night, guys.